disappearance of a young girl by the name of Athena Strand?
It was actually December 2nd,
Okay.
and it was a Friday night, and I was called by the lab director at that time and responded to the Wise County Sheriff's Office, where he turned over the phone to me.
Okay. And once you got the phone, what did you do?
At that point, I returned and went to the laboratory and attempted the extraction.
Where is your laboratory located?
It's in downtown Dallas.
Is it right there? Or describe where it is.
It's right near Dealey Plaza, 207 South Houston.
Gotcha. And may I approach you, Ron?
Yes, sir.
Prior to court today, did I show you what had been marked as State Exhibit number 153?
Yes.
And at the time that I showed it to you, did I ask you to check to make sure it was sealed and hadn't been tampered with?
Correct.
And then, in your presence, did I open it so that we could examine the inside of the package?
Yes.
And once we took it out of the initial packaging and get down to this pink packaging, we recognized this item. Actually, it's the one that's inside. You recognize that item.
Yes, this is the way that the phone was turned over to me on December 2nd.
And then, once that you had dealt with it, did you then place it inside of this pink packaging?
Correct.
And had your initials and where it was sealed at that time?
Correct. My initials on the date I sealed it across the top, as well as our lab number for our examination, and our barcode number is the DL120330.
And for purposes of the record, from previous testimony, I'll say that State's Exhibit number 153 is the phone that was entered as the phone that was with the defendant at the time that he was arrested. Yeah.
Correct.
Now, were there some other items besides the phone that you were asked to examine as well?
Yes, a few days later, they also brought 2 gaming systems and a laptop.
And we're just going to talk about the phone this time. Get back into the package. So you said that on December the 2nd, you drove out to the Wise County Sheriff's Office and you picked up the phone, took it back to Dallas to your lab, is that correct?
Correct.
Were you able to do a full download of it at that time?
Not on December 2nd, no, sir.
Okay. When was it that you were able to complete the download process?
That would have been the following Monday, I believe December 5th.
All right. And tell us the process that you went through to what we call digital extraction of that phone.
So the reason I was unable to do it on that Friday night is that the USB port by default, or maybe set up that way by the owner, had been set to charging only. So it didn't allow data transfer without unlocking the device. At the time that I received the phone, I wasn't provided the passcode. On Monday, I obtained the passcode and then was able to obtain my extraction. And we do that by connecting it to a tool software that then obtains the extraction for us, following a set of steps that are prompted. Once we obtain the extraction, it also provides a hash value, a mathematical hash value for that specific extraction that you can then, if you copy it to the network and move it around, process it. I should always be able to go back to that hash value, whether it be 1 month, 10 months, 5 years, and rehash it and show the extraction has not been altered in any way.
And in fact, during the discovery process, did you actually have to go back to your original download to create an additional copy of that original download at the request of the defense, so that they had the, I don't know exactly what you say, but all of the raw data that you had?
Correct. I requested and responded by making a discovery copy for the court.
And so there's a whole lot of different reports that you can generate with regard to this. But for one, I think that generally what is the one that's generally used to sort of, for a layperson like myself, to go through the phone and just see what they might be able to find out?
So when we are requested to perform an examination, it kind of falls one of 2 ways. Either we're giving a lot of data and kind of guidance on what they're looking for, and we conduct a full-blown forensic examination, or they can request a portable case, depending on which tool we use. It goes by different name. But that portable case puts all that raw data and processes it in a way that just an investigator can go through, look at emails, look at text messages, etc. They can look at it themselves. In this case, I created a portable case using Cellrite, and this is commonly referred to as a reader report.
And based upon the reader report, were you then requested to go back on the days following specific dates of December 1st and December 2nd, where you asked to look at some cell searches, or internet searches that might have been done on that phone, and then also some images that may have been accessed on that phone.
Correct.
And were you able to go back and verify certain times and dates that certain things were accessed?
Correct. I was asked to provide a list of artifacts and asked to confirm that they did in fact come from my extraction and extract the data from the provided phone.
And prior to court today, did you, were you shown a document, I think approximately maybe 30 pages, 18, yes, 29-page document that, of those artifacts that you called in, and there's some dates and times that go with the artifacts to verify that those dates and times are correct?
Correct.
Okay. I haven't done that yet. I figured you were getting ready to do that. So, may I approach?
Yes, sir.
Should I call you Agent Morris or Mr. Morris?
Mr. Morris is fine. I'm not an agent.
Mr. Morris, I'm going to show you what has been marked as State's Exhibit number 287 and ask you if you just briefly look through that and see if that's the document that you've examined prior to court today, and I think previous to that as well.
Yes, sir, it is.
And prior to that document being created, were there numerous other artifacts that have been honed down to this as far as what we're going to bring to court today?
Correct. Over 7.
Okay. And so with regard to State's Exhibit 287, you have 2 pages that are just delineate the date that the thing occurred on, right?
Correct.
Thursday, December 1st, and Friday, December 2nd.
Yes, sir.
And so with regard to the other pages on there, then there would be a screenshot off of your reader report, and then the dates and times that go with that screenshot.
Correct.
And do you, is your testimony that you have, where there's like the little red boxes that have been added to the screenshots that point out the things that are referenced as to the date and the time to the left, on the left side of the paper?
Correct. The red boxes were added afterwards. They're not part of the initial processing.
And other than that, with regard to the photographs or the screenshots, are those true and correct copies of what would have come directly off of the reader report?
Correct.
All right. Now, on the dates and times, the dates and the times that are on the left side of the page, have they been gone through the conversion process? Is it the original times that you read on the reader report are usually in what time zone?
Usually the forensic software is going to list everything in universal coordinated time, otherwise known as UTC, or Greenwich Mean Time. And then from there, you can convert the time based on which time zone you're in. For this one, we are Central Standard Time, so minus 6 hours.
So if it says over here on the left side, the date and the time, and it says CST, what does CST stand for?
Central Standard Time?
Do you believe it would aid the jury to understand some of the things that were being accessed by the defendant on this phone after the time, the alleged time, or the admitted time now, that he murdered Athena Strand on November 30th, 2022?
I do.
I will offer State's Exhibit number 287 into evidence. Sure. Those were added afterwards, correct?
Correct. I didn't make that presentation, so whoever did added those red marks afterwards just to highlight certain aspects.
But you would agree that the red marks that were added were to show what the time frame is related to over here? Because there's multiple time frames on some of these.
Correct.
Stuff, correct? Yes. And then there's also specifically as to the search where it shows web history, there's a URL or a file path that was used to get there. Is that correct?
Correct. File path shows where that artifact is located within the overall file system.
Now, understanding that, are the red marks helpful, in your opinion, to show that the date and time that they're related?
Correct.
Okay. Now, with regard to the date and the time, those date and times were put there before you saw this document, correct?
Correct.
But did you go back and verify those dates and times to make sure that those were true and correct?
Correct. Each artifact I was able to locate matched up to the time displayed.
Okay. And with regard to that, would you adopt that as far as part of your testimony was to, for the individual artifact and the time that's on the same page, that that's the time that that artifact is related?
Correct, so long as it's minus 6 hours from whatever discipline you DC.
That's, all right, thank you. With that understanding, one thing further. Prior to court today, was there a hearing outside the presence of the jury where you gave your qualifications, talked about what you were going to testify to?
Yes, sir.
And at that point, the defense had an opportunity to make objections to your testimony.
Sustained.
Yeah, I have any objections to it as a demonstrator, I think we would object to come back.
All right, so states 287 is admitted. You may run any objection.
May I publish it?
Yes, sir.
Publishing page 1 of State's Exhibit number 287. Mr. Morris, as far as how these pages are related to each other, are they chronological order? I'm starting earlier in the day on December 1st and moving through that day, and then going earlier in the day on December 2nd and moving.
I believe so, Mr.
Thank you. So, the second page 2 of State Exhibit 287, I'm going to focus in on, it shows an event that occurred on December 2nd, 2022, which was early Thursday morning at 3:30 a.m., correct?
Correct.
And that related to an internet search that had refreshed, I guess at that time, from one that had previously.
Objection, lady.
Explain, you're right. Explain to me what we're seeing here in this red box that I have focused in on with regard to page 2 of State Exhibit 287.
So the search was for my family makes me out to be a demon. I was asked to locate that within the extraction and verify that it came from my extracted data. In doing so, I located that data, that specific search, but also located what appears to be the original search, which, if my memory serves, was actually performed on November 22nd, sometime after 10 p.m. So that this search is either a research or it's just still in its history. It was yet again a page refreshed back and getting close to that tab. So this is not the initial original search.
But it does show that that search was refreshed or accessed at what time of day on December 1st of 2022?
According to that, it's December 1st, 2022 at 3:30 a.m. Central Standard Time.
And the total text of, because over here, if we're looking at the middle, it doesn't give the entire text of the search, correct?
Correct. And you can see there as well that it's been refreshed a couple times back on that date.
Understood. And so, but the total text is over this box in the lower right-hand corner. My fiance's family makes me out to be a demon. Is that right?
Correct. And if you were to widen the column in the software, which you can't do with the screenshot, obviously, you could also see the entire search string.
We're talking about this column here.
Yes, sir. If you widen that within the software, you'd be able to see the entire column.
All right, moving on to page number 3. Now we have an image that shows to have been accessed on December 1st, 2022 at what time?
6:19 a.m. Central Standard Time.
And just for purposes of the record, can you describe what you're looking at?
It's a graph, 3 circles intersecting, different subject titles in each one.
And so the top circle, are they in a triangular formation?
No, there's circles.
Well, they're circles, but they are like one circle on top of 2 other circles.
Correct. Intersecting in the center.
Understood. So the 3 main circles titles are what?
Catholicism, autism, and nerdship.
Okay. And what does it say is the intersection of all 3 of those things?
It has the acronym BDSM.
And that was at 6:19 a.m. on December 1st, right?
Correct.
So, well, let me go on to the next one. Okay, let's go on to the next one, December 1st, 6:19:48 in the morning. What's the next image that we're looking at?
It appears to be a book titled Hot and Bottom.
What's the subtitle, please?
How to think about, talk about, and have the sex you really want.
Going on. 7:37, now we're jumping all the way to 7:37 PM, and we have,
Second objection,
We're
Ask this question.
Don't leave your witness.
Your Honor, I believe this has been admitted into evidence. I think I can read out the document that's submitted into evidence if that's allowed.
I'm just saying, don't leave your witness.
Yes, sir. Okay. Is that, tell us, is this the same or different search that was earlier accessed that we referred to on the first day?
That's the same search. The refresh brought to the present.
Okay, thank you. Now, December 1st, what time is this next page, specifically for purposes of record, page 6, what time is this image accessed?
It's displayed as 1:06:05 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And that's in PM means what?
Oh, right, means in the afternoon.
All right. And with regard to that, do you recognize that image as being a certain person?
I do.
And who was that?
Athena Strand.
Going on, same time frame. What are we looking at here? Page 7,
It's another picture of Athena Strand.
page 8,
Another image of Athena Strand.
page 9.
Another image of Athena Strand.
Now, the next time frame that we're looking at on December 1st, 2022 is what? Here on page 10.
2:20:54 p.m. Central Standard Time.
2:20 in the afternoon.
Correct.
Is there a different service that's being done at this time?
Yes, but I can't read.
I'm going to focus in on it.
Thank you.
Over here in the box, can you see the text of that search?
I do.
What is it?
Do FedEx truck cameras constantly record?
You said that was at what time?
2:20 p.m. 54 seconds Central Standard Time.
And over here, can you see that in the UTC time?
Correct. So again, 6 hours forward, 8:20 p.m.
Going on, page 11. What time frame are we looking at here on the searches that we're focused in on at this point?
Shows December 1st, 2022, 7:33:29 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And what is the text of the searches that are being done?
Paradise Missing Girl.
And how many different refreshes or new screens were accessed as part of this?
What's displayed there is 5.
Going on, page 12. What time frame are we looking at here?
December 1st, 2022, 8:16:07 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And I'm going to show you, that is page 12, page 13. Are you familiar with what these photographs show?
I am.
Can you say that for the record, please?
Certain areas of crime scene.
Going on to page 14.
Additional photos of the crime scene and all those, that string of images is part of, I believe, the WhatsApp chat group.
And I want to ask you about, when you refer to it as the crime scene, it's hard to narrow that down because there's multiple things going on at the same time. So can you say where are these search areas, or where the body was recovered, you know?
I do not know each specific one.
Okay, that's fine. Going on to December 2nd, 2020. At what time frame are we looking at here?
That one shows December 2nd, 2022, 1:49:43 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And do you recognize the person in that photograph?
I believe that is Tanner Warner.
And was this a photograph that was embedded within his phone?
It is several times.
And with regard to that, was it accessed though at this time of day?
It pops up within that Facebook workup, which is Android's name for Facebook Messenger. So I don't know if it was asked to determine if it's profile picture or how it's accessed. Yes, the image did present itself at that time.
Okay. Now going on to page number 17. What time of day are we looking at here?
December 2nd, 2022, 2:57:09 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And is there a photograph of a young girl on there?
There is
And you know who that young girl is?
Athena Strand.
Going on to page number 18, do you see another photograph?
Yes, sir.
Who's that?
Athena Strand.
Page 19, is this a different time that was accessed than the previous time's photograph was accessed?
Correct.
Page 20, what are we looking at here for purposes of the record?
It's a missing poster for Athena Strand.
Page 21,
Another missing banner for Athena Strand.
page 22,
Another missing poster for Athena Strand.
page 23,
Another missing poster for Athena Strand.
page 24,
An image of Athena Strand.
page 25,
It would appear to be, again, a photo of a search crime scene location.
page 26,
Another message photo alert, if you will, of Athena Strand.
page 27,
Another image of Athena Strand.
page 28,
Another image of Athena Strand.
and page 29.
It's still another image of Athena Strand.
And these are all images that you recovered from where?
These came from the extracted data of the phone submitted to the laboratory.
Who did that phone come from?
I believe it came from Tanner.
Absolutely.
Cross-examination.
Good morning, Mr. Morrison.
Good morning.
I have a follow-up question for you. Now, as to this PowerPoint, you did not create that.
That's correct.
And your work in the digital forensic, the recovery from the phone, the artifact, is the images over here on the right, not the word.
Correct. The images on the right are what came from the extraction. The images on the left are just taken from that. Summarizing, if you will.
Sure. And you're only testifying to those artifacts on the phone. You're not giving any testimony regarding who the end user was at the time or anything like that.
Correct.
Now, this wording in blue there,
Yes, sir.
that is our op.
Correct.
So that's kind of where it ended up on your phone, on the phone.
Yes, sir.
And there's ways things get onto your phone other than you searching for
Correct.
it. Can you just tell me what a cache is?
So a cache is, best way to describe it is a temporary storage. You have different caches within your web browsers, different caches within your social media applications. And the purpose of a cache is really to try to make your user experience better. So when you think of a news site, it may cache data. So the next time you go to that news site, it's one you go to frequently. You're not waiting on it to pull up all the original data. It can pull up more quickly and present itself better. In the same way, social media apps have a similar fashion. They're trying to present the user quickly what you want to see. You're not waiting. And so it can cache data of stuff you've looked at for social media. Some of it may be preloaded. As you may be familiar with social media, when you pull it up, there's already video waiting.
And you kind of mentioned there, so different programs will have their own cache storage place, right?
Correct. And then the phone itself can have a cache. They're all over extraction.
Okay, so there's multiple different little pockets where things can get put into.
Correct.
And that's what we're calling an artifact, is any sort of image or message or anything that gets saved.
Correct.
And those images will remain in that cache until they're either written over or if the program has some sort of time limit.
Correct. Each platform can set up its own parameters. The phone can to try to manage that cache so that it doesn't become too large on your device and then start rendering your user experience in the negative because it's taking up too much space.
Now, going through each of these photos in the state presentation, they all have this file path showing where they ended up, right?
Correct.
And this one, for example, is from Facebook.
Correct.
So Facebook caches, what goes in there isn't necessarily something you click on.
Correct. It's made up of a multitude of data.
Okay. And it's like when you're scrolling and viewing things, that can be a cache.
Correct. Yeah. It's the simplest of terms. It can be stuff that's preloaded. It can be things you've looked at. It can be things that your social media by kind of tracking your interests, your likes, or things that have been occurring in and around your phone or maybe your area of location. It can preload that data and be available for you or shared by your content users.
Exactly. So if I look at a particular topic, search on YouTube for gardening or something, and I pull that Facebook, and suddenly I've got 60 things on gardening, and I'm scrolling through those can end up back in my cache.
Correct.
Okay. And I believe Instagram's owned by Meta, so it too as is Facebook.
Yes.
So would it work similarly? I think we may have an Instagram photo or two.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on each cache, but yes, there will work work in a similar fashion. I couldn't testify that they have the exact same configuration and rules of how long they can store data and whatnot.
Well, for example, the dates we're talking about, Ms. Strand would have been in the news a lot.
Correct.
Would have been on the news feed on Facebook a lot.
Correct.
And if I'm scrolling in Pius County, I'm likely to run into something.
Correct.
And that would go into my cache.
Yes.
Specifically, the one you testified to as being crime scene, that was actually from WhatsApp, correct?
Yes. And again, it's shared data held on the phone.
Okay. But that one is a little different because that was from a message group, right?
Yes, sir.
So if, and I believe it was maybe a FedEx, maybe something from his work.
I believe the FedEx group chat, yes, sir.
So when that goes out in the group chat, and I'm in that group chat, and I click on that there's a message from coworkers, or the candidate clicks on this message from coworkers, that is went into the WhatsApp cache.
Yes, sir.
So that wasn't like him looking for crime scene, that was a message group he was part of. He clicks on it and it goes on the phone.
Yes, for that specific part of that, it was part of that group chat.
Yeah, I'm referring to that specifically. There are also some of these that may have been from messages from his meeting from his grandmother.
Okay.
And so if you get a message from someone else, the same thing. You click on it, whatever attachment they sent you goes into the cache.
Yes, it can be cached depending on what messaging platform you're using, WhatsApp, the native messaging for the phone, native messaging.
So because you've got the file paths on these, and it's different from the search terms you showed, these are from caches from either Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp or a message that was sent.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask a question to you about the browser history. You talked about a first-time searching and a reloading, that sort of thing. What are different ways that something gets into that history for a program that has a history rather than cache?
So if you're familiar with, for instance, with Google on your phone, if you type in a specific search, if you don't clear your history and you go back, then it can be, as soon as you start typing, it may present itself and you can click and follow that same search. Also, if you have multiple tabs open, you may have that tab open the entire time, and it's not until you click on that tab that it refreshes, brings it back to the forefront, and you can continue that search again, if you desire.
So while they operate a little differently, either with the cache or with the history, you don't necessarily have to intentionally click on something for it to end up there.
Correct.
Now, I don't know if you mentioned this, but I believe it's in your report that one of the first things you did, you gained access to the phone to do with research for child sexual abuse materials.
I'm sorry?
Child sexual abuse material on the phone. I think it's in your report, maybe prior testimony, that was like one of the first things you did.
I think I remember noting that I didn't locate it.
That was going to be my next question. So you didn't locate any sort of child sexual abuse material. I think that was the acronym of it.
Correct, I did not.
Just to clarify, we're referring to any sort of pornography involving kids or children, anything like that. You didn't find any.
I did not.
One last question, and you may or may not know the answer to this. As far as Facebook and Instagram do that as a social program, when you change your user handle, do you know that that changes the user, how that appears on all posts?
I don't know the changes on whole posts.
Okay. Pass it, John.
Redirect.
We've already shown this photograph. In order for somebody to have this documentation on their screen before, what would have to happen?
Those listed there are typed searches. If you're typing in a search, you want to know what the weather is, you type, what is the weather thing? That is what that artifact is cataloged.
So would the person, whoever it was using the phone at that time, be the one that advertised it?
Correct.
Is that the same with regard to state exhibit 287, page 10, this red box?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. No further questions?
Mr. Coble?
Yes, sir. As the first image you showed you, there was 4 or 5 searches. Those occurred between 1:33 and 1:36.
I don't know.
4-minute period.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, 4-minute period of 4 times.
Well, it would be that you load the first search. You didn't type it at any time. repeating, kind of like the FedEx trucks report constantly, or the other one about the family things on the demon. It's not being retyped each time. So it's typed the first time, and then as you go into your history, remember it shows your history. You can either follow it again, or it's just pull up, refreshing that window.
Okay, so I thought Mr. Gray asked for 3 times. That's not necessarily happening. It means that search was reloaded 4 times within that day.
Yeah, I didn't look to verify, but I don't believe it. I don't believe that he typed it 5 times.
Okay, and that second one he showed you, those had the same exact time for the second. So 8:20, 54, or something like that. So that's not even typing you think it's the same thing.
Right, I'd have to see the slide again to follow exactly, but I don't believe it's being retyped. He could, but it doesn't necessarily indicate and mean that he typed it 2 times.
I'm sure you can't type something that's...
Correct, if they're at the exact same time. That's what I'd say without seeing the image again. I'm just taking your word that they're at the exact same time.
I was trying to write it down while they were there. So,
Sure.
Thank you, that's all.
Mr. Berry,
Nothing further.
may this witness be excused subject to any potential recall?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Hand me that microphone. Just pull it out. Pull it out. Pull it out. Thank you, sir. Who do you have next? I'm sorry? Kevin Huffman? Trying to do something with this air conditioner. Oh, have a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, this witness has been previously sworn to testify truthfully. Mr. Sagan?
You say your name, George.
Kevin Huffman.
And instructors, where are you currently employed?
I'm the elected constable for Wise County Precinct 4.
And without giving your entire address, where do you live?
I live on County Road 3573 in Paradise.
Now, let me ask you a little bit about this road outside of Paradise. Just describe this road as it is.
It's going to be a paved county road. It's a little less than a mile long. It dead ends into a cul-de-sac.
And as it applies to this case, are you aware of where Athena Strand's residence is in relation to yours?
Yes, sir.
And where is it in relation to yours?
So when you turn on to County Road 3573 off of FM 2123, which is the farm to market highway, Athena's house would have been the first house on the right, up towards the highway side, and then my house is down at the very end of the cul-de-sac.
When you say cul-de-sac, is that like a turnaround?
Yes, sir.
And so on this particular road, is this area that is in, if you consider it to be urban or rural?
It's rural.
Now, how far away is this from, say, the town of Paradise?
From Paradise, as the crow flies, probably about 10 or 11 miles.
Now, this particular road, how long have you been living on this road?
We moved out there in 2017.
Now, this particular road, is this a highly traveled or a lightly traveled road?
It's pretty lightly traveled. There's about 20 homes on this road.
Now, let me fast forward you here. At some point in November of 2022, did you happen to come in contact with the defendant, Tanner One?
Yes, sir.
And how did that contact occur?
He had delivered a package to our house.
And let me ask you specifically, what day was it on?
That would have been on November 29th.
And what time?
It was evening time, approximately 5:45.
Now, in relationship to that day being the 29th, are you familiar with what day Athena Strand was missing?
Yes, sir.
What day is that?
That had been the following day on the 30th.
And do you remember, you said you're a constable, let me ask you a couple questions about that. Is a constable a licensed police officer in Texas?
Yes, sir.
And with regard to being a constable, do you have access to the sheriff, the dispatch? How do you communicate in Wise County?
Well, I have a police radio in my vehicle. I don't personally use it that much. I'm kind of old school guy, but I communicate primarily by phone. But I do have the ability to using the county radio system. Whatnot.
And in that communication, do you remember when you became aware that Athena Strand had gone missing?
I'm sorry.
Your Honor, relevance to the incident that we're talking about today?
Just saying.
When Athena Strand went missing, did you participate in the search?
Yes.
And how so?
That evening, I participated by going out and checking my property. I'm on 10 acres. So I went and checked around my fence lines, and I checked my stock tank and in that immediate area that evening.
So backing up, you said that Tim Horner had delivered a package of 545 the day before, is that right? Okay. And let me ask you, at your home, back in 22, who all lived at your home back in 2022?
It would have been myself, my wife, and my 2 daughters.
And let me ask you, we don't have to give their names here, but how old were your 2 daughters in November of 2022, if you remember?
My youngest would have been 7, and my oldest would have been, well, she had just had a birthday, so she had just turned 10, actually.
So I want to make sure this is you, your wife, 2 girls, 7 and 10.
Yes, sir.
And were they all present when Tanner Horner arrived at your location on the 29th?
Yes, we were all on the property.
All right. And with regard to that, how did you become aware that he was there on the property?
My oldest daughter had come in to let me and my wife know that we had a delivery there. They were both out in the yard.
And so that's the setup I was going to ask you about. Kind of who was where when Tanner Horner drove up?
Yes, sir. My 2 daughters were out playing out in the front yard. We have a yellow swing in the circle drive, so they were out playing out front, and me and my wife were in the house in the living room.
And other than delivering a package, anything else out of the ordinary go on that particular day?
Not necessarily out of the ordinary. It was just, a little idle chit chat, small talk while he unloaded a keyboard that was being used.
Let me show you previously. Exhibits 289 and 290. Let me just ask you a couple of questions. You didn't take these pictures, did you?
No, sir.
Are these screenshots?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me just ask you, do you recognize any portions on these particular screenshots?
Yes, sir.
And just to give us an idea, what do you recognize on the screenshot?
So I recognize it shows a partial picture of the front of my house in the front door. It shows my wife's car parked on the carport attached to the house, and this picture shows an image of my youngest daughter.
And then what about, that states 289, what about 290?
Thank you. I apologize. I left my cheaters in the truck. This one, in addition to the car, the front door, this one is going to show, looks like my youngest daughter at the back of the FedEx van, as well as me coming out of the front door.
Okay. And then on 288, is that generally the same as you see here in 289 and 90?
Yes, sir. Minus this one, I do not see me coming out the front door, and it appears that the van door is closed.
All right. And do these actively represent your home and those things around your home on or about that day, November 29, 2022?
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Your daughter states 288, 289, and 290.
Any objections other than those previously brought to my attention?
And no objections.
All right, states, exhibits 288, 289, and 290 are admitted. Cross-examination.
Can we return?
Everyone may be seated. Ms. Anderson.
Mr. Huffman, during the break, you had a chance to review a video, and it was the interior of the truck during the stop, which you had just previously testified about. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And, Your Honor, we have pre-admitted defense exhibit number 44, and we would like to publish that to the jury now.
Any objection? Mr. Stegman? No, no. Yeah, okay. Defense Exhibit 44 is admitted, and you may publish to the jury.
Right, and I'm going to stop right here for a moment. Now, Mr. Huffman, when Mr. Horner pulled into the driveway, the lights are on at the house. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And there are cars in the driveway.
Yes,
So just looking at the house, there's an indication that somebody's actually home.
that's correct.
And there are dogs out in the front yard?
Yes,
Okay, and I believe you testified that your kids were out there playing?
yes.
Oh, where was your wife at the time?
She was in the house with me.
I'd like to see if I need to one of the adults, please, as a, Christmas precaution.
All right, so you can see the kids are playing in the back, and Mr. Horner still has his seatbelt fastened, does he not?
Yes,
He rolls down his window, and he asks to speak to one of the adults, correct?
yes,
And tells you that, or says that it's a Christmas time precaution, right?
yes.
Oh, okay.
All right, so he stayed in the van until it appears that he had received some indication that it's okay to get out of the van, right?
What it looks like, yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure, kind of. I'm actually sure with this person.
Now, Mr. Huffman, I'm going to stop for a moment. May I approach the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Huffman, I have one question. Who is this in the white right here in the background? I assume this is your daughter right here.
That's one of my, that's my youngest daughter in the Ford, closer.
And in the background, is that your wife?
To be honest, I can't tell from here.
Do you need to walk around and look at
I
it?
may have to.
You know what, I'll play it and I'll get us to a better spot. And first in the background goes into the house.
Okay, that is my wife there, in front of the door.
Okay, so when Mr. Horner arrived, your wife was outside as well.
Yes, we both came out.
When he got out of the truck, he told your wife, or told people that were outside that, you know, it was a Christmas time precaution because he had accidentally spoiled a kid's Christmas the other day. Is that what he had said?
I believe that's the gist of it, yeah.
And all the time that he's sitting in the truck, your wife is still outside with the kids, right?
Yes.
Okay. So your wife goes into the house. And is that you that immediately came out of the house?
That is me.
Okay. Mr. Huffman, during this time that Mr. Horner is getting the package out and delivering it to the front, you didn't have any concerns for your safety, did you?
No,
You didn't have any concerns for the safety of your wife?
not at that time.
Didn't have any concerns for the safety of your children?
No,
In fact, Mr. Horner was behaving like your typical delivery driver, correct?
well, I would say a little better than the prior one.
A little better than the prior delivery driver. But he was polite.
Yes,
And he was courteous. And he engaged in small talk with you and your family.
right.
But nothing that would give you pause.
No, ma'am.
Nothing that would make you get on your dispatcher and call sheriff.
No,
And nothing that would make you call dispatch.
no.
All right, so now Mr. Horner had just stated that 115 stops today. Did you hear that?
I didn't catch it, I'm sorry.
Okay, so Mr. Horner did say that there were 115 stops that day, not too bad. And during this time period, you can see yourself walking back out of the house,
Yes, ma'am.
and you're walking towards the back of the truck,
Correct.
and Mr. Horner's putting on a seatbelt.
Yes.
Oh, man. You're down. I'm right there.
Mr. Huffman, the only other question I had about the package was the package clearly marked what the contents were?
I want to say it was, but I don't recall. It's been too long.
Okay. If it had been clearly marked and somebody just delivered it, you would agree with me that there was the possibility that if it had been a surprise, that surprise could have been spoiled?
If it had been up, I think so, yeah, but it wasn't.
Your Honor, have witness.
Read the record.
Within 24 hours of that video, Athena's been kidnapped and murdered, correct?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you, Ms. Anderson asked you if you felt the need to call the police or dispatch, and he was there 24 hours before. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, knowing what you know now, that 24 hours later, he kidnapped and murdered a child the same age as yours, would you still have that feeling with him being on your property at this time?
Well, no.
And what would you do in response?
Objection, Your Honor, that calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Nothing further.
Redirect, Ms. Anderson.
Yes, but at the time, you didn't fear for your safety.
At the time, I did not.
You did not fear for the safety of your girls. You did not fear for the safety of anybody in your household. Nothing further.
Mr. Stank.
Nothing wrong, thank you.
May this witness be excused subject to any potential recall?
No objections.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, I hate to do this, but we've been working, so we need 10 minutes. All right, we'll call you back in just a minute. Ms. Dooley?
Thank you, Judge. Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Kaylin Hagerman, Kailynhag.
How old are you today?
I'm 29.
And what is your date of birth?
November 8th, 1996.
In June through August of 2013, where were you living?
Hazel, Texas.
Who were you living with at that time?
My grandmother.
What was your childhood like at that time?
I was placed to live with my grandmother because I had a pretty troubled childhood.
Was your dad involved in your life?
No, I was born due to the sexual assault of my mother in college.
In June through August of 2013, how old were you at that time?
16.
Were you going to school then?
Yes.
Where were you going to school?
Hazel, high school.
Do you see the person in the courtroom that you know to be Cameron?
Yes, I do.
Can you point to where he is located and identify items where he is located?
He was wearing a blue tie.
All right. Let the record reflect that the witness has identified Lieutenant Taylor.
Record will so reflect.
When did you first meet Taylor?
It would have been around the end of 2012 to the beginning of 2013.
And how did you meet him?
I met him through someone I was dating that he was in a band with.
Do you recall what band this was?
I believe it was Recover the Lost at the time.
Was Taylor Horner involved in several bands?
Yes.
Do you recall any names of the other bands?
Yes. Buried Alive, and commit and conquer, soundings, and I believe sacred sound.
I believe you said you knew him end of 2012, beginning of 2013.
Yes.
What type of relationship did you have with him at that time?
We were friendly. We were friends due to our mutual friend group and the person I was seeing.
Did you have conversations with him?
Yes.
And did you ever see him out?
Yes.
What type of conversations did you have with the defendant?
We would mostly talk about music, anime, things going on in our relationships at the time.
How did you, back in January 2013, how did you mostly speak to the defendant?
We were talking about mutual breakups that we were going through, him with an ex and mine with his friend who was my then ex.
Was that through Facebook messaging, social media?
Basically Facebook messaging.
And are you familiar with the defendant's Facebook account?
Yes, I am.
And do you recall about how when you started talking to the defendant on Facebook?
I want to say it was January of 2013.
Yeah, on that first.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 292. And do you recognize this?
Yes.
And what is it?
This is a comment thread between Tanner and myself on Facebook.
And how do you know that that message belongs to him?
It has his photo in the profile as well as his name.
Did you ever make plans with Tanner Horner using Facebook?
Yes,
And who showed up after you made those plans?
Tanner Horner.
All right, this time the state, let's say fair and accurate in that conversation.
Yes.
This time the state offered the evidence, State's Exhibit 292. No objection, Your Honor.
State's Exhibit 292 is admitted.
Thank you, Judge. I'm going to show you what has been marked as State's Exhibit 293. You spoke about anime earlier. What was the character that you and Mr. Horner spoke about the most?
Misa Misa from the anime Death Note.
And as part of this conversation that just was admitted as State's Exhibit 292, is that who you were speaking about?
Yes.
And do you feel like this would aid the jury in understanding who we were speaking about?
Yes.
And is this a representation of that character?
Yes.
All right, this time the state opted the evidence. State's Exhibit 293. I would object to relevance, Your Honor.
That objection is overruled. State's Exhibit 293 is admitted.
Now I'm going to show you what is marked as State's Exhibit 291. Have you had the opportunity to review this item prior to coming in here today?
Yes.
And can you tell me what these are?
These are Facebook messages between myself and Tanner Horner.
And are these a fair and accurate showing of your entire conversation that you still had in your possession?
Yes.
And is that y'all's conversation?
Yes.
And how do you recognize that that is your and Tanner Horner's conversation?
It is, it has Tanner's profile picture as well as his name.
Your Honor, this time the state opted evidence, State's Exhibit 291. No objection, Your Honor.
State's Exhibit 291 is admitted.
Judge. All right, we were talking about one of the things that you had in common with Tanner was anime.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about anime, specifically the conversation that you were having about Misa?
In this conversation, I was cosplaying as that character for a local anime convention that was going on, and Tanner was commenting on my post asking who I was cosplaying as.
And who were you cosplaying as?
Misa Misa.
Can you publish, it's been admitted as State Exhibit 293? Show on the screen now, State's Exhibit 293. And what are we looking at?
This is Misa Misa from the anime Death Note.
Is this, I guess, what you're referring to in the conversation that was just admitted? It's in front of you, that piece of message?
Yes.
And I'm going to have you read those messages and tell us who is reading. Tell us your part, this part, okay?
Yes. The first comment that Tanner made asked who I was cosplaying as. I responded, Misa Misa. Tanner said, I just creamed my panties. Tanner then said, I had to go to Walmart and buy a pair just so I could cream them. I responded, Tanner, you're a male. That's weird that you're wearing panties. Tanner then said, well, banana hammock, but still, them be manties, not panties. LOLs, JK, JK.
Other than Misa Misa, what other things did you and Tanner talk about at that time?
At that time, a lot of it was just music related. We were both involved in the local music scene, going to shows, supporting the local bands.
Did Tanner want to know how old you were?
Yes.
And how did you know that?
I openly told him when his friend and I were dating, as his friend was aware as well.
Were you ever at the defendant's home?
Yes.
Your home you lived with?
His grandmother and grandfather.
What did he ask you to tell her?
I needed to use the restroom.
Your Honor, it's a vague question.
Rephrase your question.
What did he ask you to tell her about your age?
Objection, Your Honor, it's still vague, it has not been identified who the parent is.
Rephrase your question.
You mentioned that he was living with his grandma, correct?
Yes.
When you were at his grandma's house, what did Tanner Corner tell you to tell his grandma about your age?
If I was asked about my age, I was told to tell her I was 18 years old.
Thank you. I'm going to bring you to around June and July 2013, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, what was your relationship with Tanner Corner?
At that time, we had entered a dating relationship for the period of about 1 week.
And you were how old at that time?
16 years old.
And how old was Tanner Corner?
22.
In June or July 2013, what happened?
Tanner sexually assaulted me.
Was there another time that Tanner Corner sexually assaulted you?
Yes, August 11th of 2013.
And are you the same person that is a victim in 2 sexual assault child cases?
Objection, Your Honor, to the characterization.
Let me hear the question.
Are you the same person that is a victim in 2 sexual assault cases that are indicted and pending in Tarrant County?
Your objection's overruled.
Your Honor, I would object to the characterization of the victim. Only a jury can determine whether or not an offense has occurred. Until then, she's a complaining witness or the accuser.
Rephrase your question regarding the victim.
Are you the same person that is the accuser in 2 sexual assault of a child cases that are indicted and pending in Tarrant County currently?
Yes, I am.
Who is the defendant in those cases?
Tanner Horn.
Is that the same person as you have previously identified in court today and as the defendant in this case?
Yes.
In June, July 2013, when Tanner Horn sexually assaulted you, where were you at?
In his shed behind his grandmother's house.
Why were you there that day?
We were hanging out and drinking and smoking.
When you say drinking,
We were drinking alcohol.
okay. And when you said smoking,
We were smoking marijuana.
you're still 16.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you purchase this alcohol?
No, I did not.
Who did?
Tanner Horner.
How much had you drank that day?
I don't remember exactly, but I know it was enough that I was not coherent.
Was there anyone else at his house that day?
I believe his grandmother was inside her home up the home in the front.
So what were you and Tanner Horner doing while you were doing alcohol?
We were in his shed listening to music and talking.
Do you recall what time of day or night this was?
I believe it started in early afternoon and went on late into the night.
Were you planning on staying the night with him that night?
Yes, so my grandmother did not find out that I was up drinking.
I want you to tell the jury what happened.
That night, when I decided it was time to go to sleep, I laid down and Tanner Horner started grabbing a hold of me, kissing me, and proceeded to have sex with me.
Was this the first time that you had had sex with the defendant?
Yes.
Understanding you cannot consent, did you tell the defendant anything during or after at this time?
Directly after, no. After I left that day, I went home and showered because I felt gross. I didn't fully understand why I felt gross, but I did have a conversation with Tanner either the next day or the day after that I was not interested in him. I did not want to be in a relationship with him, and I never wanted to have a sexual interaction with him again.
What was your relationship, though, with Tanner after this? Before the office incident, what was your relationship like?
We were friendly. We had mutual friends, and again, we were both involved in the music scene, so we saw each other a few times. We hung around with the same group of people.
I'm going to direct you to August 11th, 2013, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to talk the jury through that day. So, how do you recall when this happened?
That day, I was dropped off in Hazelwood to hang out with Tanner at an apartment that he was staying in with some friends of his. We were going to be drinking and smoking and playing drinking games in that apartment.
Were you invited by Tanner or someone else?
I was invited by Tanner.
And did you know the other people at this apartment?
I knew one of them. The people whose apartment that were on the lease I had just met that day.
And you said you were going to be doing these things. What did y'all actually do when you got there?
We exactly did those things. We drank alcohol, we smoked marijuana and cigarettes, as well as played drinking games.
Do you know about what time of day or night this was?
We started drinking later into the evening.
How intoxicated were you?
Very.
How old were you at this time?
16.
Did you purchase alcohol?
No.
You're drinking games, you're having a good time. What happens next?
I decided I was tired, and Tanner and I had agreed that I would sleep in his room instead of on the couch. So I said I was going to bed. I went into his room and went to sleep.
Was he in the room?
At that time, no.
At some point, did he come to you?
Yes.
Tell me what you were doing about it.
I was asleep. I woke up to him grabbing me and touching me in my vaginal area, where he proceeded to again have sex with me.
And what did you do at that time?
I froze. I completely froze, shut down, did not know what to do, and just let it happen.
How did you feel at that time?
Violated, gross, not comfortable with myself. I hated myself a lot for allowing that to happen to myself.
Was there anything different this time versus the first time?
Our conversation after the previous sexual incident was that I did not want to have that kind of relationship with him. So he knew that I was not interested in him like that.
After this happened, what was your relationship with the defendant like after this?
I stayed very off-put towards him. I was very dismissive whenever we would speak. If I was around him, I would often talk to the others around him, but not him. I very much so tried to be as rude as I could be without possibly starting a anger fit.
Did you tell anyone at the time what happened to you?
Shaylee Moore.
Who is Shaylee Moore?
Shaylee Moore is a friend of mine. She is also another victim.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Sure.
We're talking about your friend, Shaylee Moore. Did you ever hang out with Shaylee Moore and Tanner?
Yes.
Was that just you and her and Tanner, or was that the band, or somebody else?
We went to a music festival together that Tanner was playing, South by So What. I cannot recall if we hung out with Tanner privately with just her and I.
Do you know how she was introduced to Tanner? Was that through you or someone else?
I believe it was through me.
States Exhibit 291. This is the first page in that document. Can you just explain what we're looking at here?
This is the start of the Facebook Messenger thread of my messages with Tanner Horner.
And can you just say to the record what the date is on this?
January 13th of 2013.
I'll show you the second page. And here, can you read the statement? Read this on 9/26, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be weird.
Do you want me to read from the beginning or just that statement?
You can read it.
Tanner had messaged me, "What's up?" So if you don't mind me asking what happened, I explained that the person I was dating broke up with me due to his family and he was tired of being made fun of. Tanner's response was, "Damn, you know, I've never understood why people freak out over weird age gaps. I mean, yeah, that's a little different, but still, LOL. So I guess you're not gonna try to set me up with one of your friends now, huh?"
What was he referring to with the weird age gap?
His friend that I was dating was 21 at the time while I was 16.
And I guess at this time of this message, he did know your age then.
Yes.
Objection, false or speculation.
Overruled.
I'll show you on the States Exhibit 291, it's going to be on page 25. Hopefully, yeah, I can show you can you read the last date on this message?
The very last date,
Yes.
August 9th of 2013.
And when were you sexually assaulted by Tanner Horner?
August 11th.
I'm going to show you page, it's going to be still States Exhibit 291, but page 26. The next page. What is that next date?
November 28th of 2013.
I'm not good at math, but there's a few months between that.
Yes.
Why was there a gap in those messages?
I did not want to speak to Tanner during that time due to what happened on August 11th. I was very uncomfortable with it and felt that he had no respect for me and that my conversation with him previously was disregarded.
Show you during these messages at this time?
I had loaned Tanner a Kingdom Hearts game for the PSP, and I was trying to get it back.
Had you asked previously for this game back?
Yes.
Is this essentially what we're reading about here?
Yes.
Can you read these?
From the beginning or starting December 1st.
You can start on December, and this one. And yeah, can you read that whole date?
Yes.
Or December 1st, yeah, that's fine.
December 1st, 2013, I messaged him,
Is that 2014 or 2014?
2014, I'm sorry. And then on December 4th of 2014, he messaged me, if you want your MFing game, just come and effing get it, Jesus effing Christ. I responded, I have no effing time, Tanner. You told me you'd mail it, you didn't. You told me you'd try to bring it to me, and you didn't. Mailing is not that effing hard.
For record purposes, you're saying effing, but the full word is there.
Yes, the full word is there.
Okay. Show you, next page, 21. Continue. With that, no, even.
Tanner then replied, I don't even have envelopes. I'm broke as F. Is it okay if I say the word?
Yes.
I don't even have the envelopes. I'm broke as fuck. How the fuck can I fucking mail something if I don't have anything to mail it in? God fucking damn. I said, ask your grandparents. I guarantee you they have stamps and envelopes. He said, they don't. I've tried and they won't buy shit for me anymore, which is understandable. I said, ask Cody then. He told you how to do it and he has some. It's effort, Tanner. He said, you're sitting here telling me to put forth effort. What effort have you made to even come get it? That's what I fucking, and then it goes to the next page.
Next page, page 42.
That's what I fucking thought. I said, I have asked Nakota 25 different times and he has said no. The only way I can go get it is if I walk, and I can't walk that far because of my knee. So quit being a prick and just do what you told me you do when I loaned you the game and give it the fuck back. He then said, I'm a prick, fuck you cunt. I said, yeah, you are a prick. Warning you now, if I have to give gas money to someone or walk to get my fucking game, it's not going to be fucking pretty. I'm going to be severely pissed. And he responded, K.
And what was that next message about?
That next message is on December 5th of 2014. It starts with, hey, sorry about what I've said earlier. I've been stressed a lot lately, even though that's not, and then it continues to the next page. I've been stressed a lot lately, even though that's not an excuse. That's not how you're supposed to talk to your friends. That was childish and immature of me to do. I apologize.
So that whole little bit was all because you loaned him a video game?
And I asked for it back, yes. And I had no way to retrieve it from him, and he told me that he was going to get it to me.
And that previous date, I have to look on 2022, whatever it is. Can you show us that date at the top? What is that date?
December 5th of 2014, the next day after the anger explosion.
And what's the next date in these messages?
May 17th of 2016.
And can you just read that line?
Please tell me you guys aren't at Pizza Hut.
When we're talking about you guys are at Pizza Hut, what is this about?
This is about me and Shaylee Moore being at Pizza Hut.
And what happened at Pizza Hut?
We were there to see her friend, and Tanner saw us and proceeded to message me, confirming that I was there with Shay.
Can you read this one?
It says, please tell me you guys aren't at Pizza Hut. I said, yeah, we are waiting on someone. Why? Tanner said I was going to come up and say hi till I saw Shay there, so I just kind of decided against it. I said, probably a good idea. He said, for real though.
So why did you not want to say hi?
Because
Your Honor calls for speculation.
Sustain.
Show you, so at the top of this, can you read the date at the very top?
November 8th, 2016,
Okay. And then what's the date in the middle?
April 29th, 2017.
So another large gap in time happened. Can you tell us what's happening here in these messages?
Tanner had sent me the new trailer for the live action remake of the anime Death Note.
The anime Death Note. Who's the character in that?
Misa Misa.
And that's what we talked about earlier.
Yes, ma'am.
So why did he reach out to you in July 2017? What is that? Just off on speculation.
Sustain.
Have you and Tanner previously talked about this trailer or Death Note?
Death Note, yes.
Is that something you all had in common?
Yes.
Are these messages talking about that? That's it.
Yes.
Can you read these?
Yes, Tanner sent me a new trailer. I said, I'm not excited about it. Tanner said, L is black and it bugs me, and I can't read the next message due to the arrow at the bottom.
We'll go to page 46.
I said, the whole setup bugs me. Gonna end up bringing my Misa cosplay to work though for the release of the movie. Tanner said, I forgot you did a Misa cosplay, LOL, but I'm probably gonna watch it just because I love Death Note, but I have a feeling it's going to bomb harder than the Twin Towers. I then responded, harder than an Ariana Grande concert, but probably gonna watch it too. Tanner then said, just saying though, William Dafoe is Ryuk. I said, I know, I don't know if I want to be excited, and then it goes to the next page.
Page 47.
I finished that sentence with, I don't know if I want to be excited or not. Tanner said, I'm not going to judge it too hard till I actually see it, but I'm definitely lowering my expectations. I said, I'm iffy. Who do they have playing Miss, but I autocorrected to Miss Misa. Tanner said, let me check. I said, if she's not in the movie, I'll be pissed. Tanner said, I feel so bad for Misa. I said, who is it? Am I going to cry? I was hoping it'd be Margot Robbie because she is perfect. And then it goes to the next page.
Page 48.
Tanner then said, nah, just how Light treated her, and yeah, you're right, she is. Sent me a screenshot of the actress playing Misa, which is Margaret Qualley. I said, ew, no, I'm upset now. Tanner said, she ain't even blonde. I said, Margot would be much better, and it goes to the next page.
Page 49.
He sent me a photo of William Dafoe sitting in the back of a car and said it's Ryuk. I said it works, but I have to see the makeup and everything first. Tanner said it's probably going to be CGI. I said, WTF, no. If they're going to do Ryuk, it needs to be stilts and the waist cincher and full makeup mask. Tanner said it's Netflix, so I'm guessing they'll have a good budget. I said if it's CGI, I'll cry, and then it goes to the next page.
Page 50.
Tanner said, I just hope it's at least good. I said they whitewashed it. He said, what do you mean? I said, no one is Asian. He said, especially L. I said, like it's fucked. The guy who plays Light is horrid. And then he sent me a photo of the character who's playing, the character L and the person who is playing him. And then it goes to the next page.
Page 51.
I said, WTF. He said, IK, which stands for I know. I said, that's so wrong. He said, it's blasphemy. I'm not racist, but good damn, he ain't no fucking N-word.
And for the record, please spell that.
Nigger.
Okay.
I said, exactly. He said, he looks the exact opposite. He's supposed to look like an emo tweaker. And then it goes to the next page.
And this is back, let me use my eyes here. This would be July of 2017, correct?
Yes.
Okay. After July 2017, what was your relationship? I guess you can tell me, what was your relationship like now in this time period, 2017, and then after?
In 2017, I remained civil, and then after I started as civil, but started to get more friendly.
In 2018, did you come across a defendant?
Yes.
At some point, did you take some pictures or do something for the defendant?
Yes, I took photos of the band he was in at a local venue while they were playing. The band hired me to shoot the photos.
What was your relationship with, like, at the defendant at that time?
Civil.
Did you have a sexual relationship with the defendant at all?
Absolutely not.
Did he ever try to have a sexual relationship or anything with you?
He tried to kiss me at the bar, and I told him no, and he did stop at that time.
Did he tell you anything at that time?
He told me I was more fun when I was younger.
At some point, did you report this case?
Yes.
When was that?
Shortly after I received a call from my mother asking me how a mutual friend of ours knew Tanner because he was the one that is.
Sustain, don't testify to what other people told you.
Yes, sir.
Did you report the case after this?
Yes.
How has this affected you?
Very badly. I have been struggling mentally since the news was announced online. It has been very hard on me. I have felt guilt due to the fact that if I had reported, things may not have happened to other people as they are accused.
Have you sought any counseling or therapy?
I did. I actually have a therapy appointment tomorrow morning.
Cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms.
Taylor, these two incidents that you spoke about occurred in the summer of 2013, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
The first one happened either at the end of June or the very beginning of July?
I want to say it was beginning of June. I can't remember the exact date,
The
unfortunately.
beginning of June?
Roundabouts.
Okay. And then the second one happened, you said August the 13th?
August 11th of
I'm sorry,
2013.
August the 11th of 2013. Sorry about that. I want to talk a little bit about your dating history. When you first met Tanner, you said that you were about 15 years old.
16. I had just turned 16 in November.
At the time, you were dating a man that was in his band.
Yes.
And in fact, he's the one that introduced you to Tanner, is that correct?
Yes.
That's because they were best friends in the same band?
Yes.
The man that you were dating in the band, he was 21 years old?
Yes.
How long have you all been together?
Before I was introduced to Tanner, maybe a few weeks.
And how long were y'all together total?
A few months, maybe a couple. I can't recall exactly.
Before you dated Jonathan, is that the name of the man you were dating?
Yes, ma'am.
Before you were dating Jonathan, you were involved with another man by the name of Cody, is that correct?
I'm going to object to relevance of her dating history.
Where are we heading with this?
Your Honor, it goes for credibility.
Oh, your objection sustained.
Yeah.
No, your objection sustained. You may make a bill if you need to, at some point.
Okay. So you were 16 years old, dating a 21-year-old, and then you two broke up.
Yes.
After you broke up with, or after Jonathan broke up with you, that's when you began dating Tanner.
Yes.
How long after you and Jonathan broke up did you begin dating Tanner?
Very shortly, I did it because I thought it was going to hurt Jonathan's feelings. I was 16 and very childish.
And so you and Jonathan broke up, I want to say it was in May?
End of May.
End of May, and then by the beginning of June, you already moved on.
I wouldn't call it moved on, more so as, again, I was being childish and petty.
I want to talk a little bit about the band that Tanner was in at the time.
Yes.
You had testified earlier that you had gone to Tanner's house with Jonathan,
Yes.
and that was to do band practice.
Yes.
Was the gentleman that I referred to earlier by the name of Cody, was he also in that band?
In Recover the Lost, I don't think so. I can't recall exactly.
What kind of music did this band play?
Like post-hardcore, screamy, yelling music.
Not kind that you hear on the Top 40 station?
No, ma'am.
And you would go and watch the band practice, is that right?
Yes.
How often would you watch them practice?
I believe I only went a couple times.
Where did they practice?
In Tanner's shed.
So you had been to Tanner's house on several occasions?
Yes.
Was it just you that was there watching the band practice, or was anybody else there watching as well?
I believe there was another girlfriend of one of the members there watching as well. I don't remember her name.
You just didn't watch the band practice, you also went to some of their shows, correct?
Yes.
And there were lots of, about how many shows did you go watch?
In that specific time or in total?
That specific time.
That specific time, I can remember maybe 2.
Well, I want to go back a little bit to the practices. When you went to the practices, there was drinking going on, wasn't there?
I cannot recall on that one.
And sometimes at practices, people would smoke weed.
Yes.
And you would smoke weed at practices.
Yes.
And no one forced you to smoke marijuana, did they?
No.
And if you were drinking, no one forced you to drink either, did they?
No.
Because by the time you had met Tanner, you had already been drinking and drugging. Is that correct?
I had already been drinking and smoking marijuana, yes.
But you'd also been smoking meth.
Objection. I don't know what the relevance is.
I'll let her answer it if she can.
Not that I can recall, no.
You don't recall telling Tanner that Jonathan had introduced you to meth?
I remember telling Jonathan that, not Jonathan, I'm so sorry. I remember telling Tanner that Jonathan and a friend of his were smoking meth and wanted me to, and I told them no, and Jonathan blew it in my face.
And you put that's what you messaged Tanner in the Facebook messages?
I can't recall the exact messages that I sent him. Are they in the messages I have in front of me?
If you look at page number 17.
I have it here.
Okay. And I was going to ask if the state could put that one up on the screen.
Mr. Barry? Okay.
Project.
I do remember this.
Okay, so we're now looking at June 19th of 2013, where you said, I have the one I loved name permanently etched into my body. I cry all the time, and I can honestly say the happiest I've been is when I smoked meth. I can honestly thank Jonathan for that. He showed me happiness when he smoked it with me, and one goddamn day, I hope it kills me.
Yes, I do remember this. It was that same night. I do apologize for my misspeaking earlier.
So I'm sorry, I didn't. I want to talk to you a little bit about Tanner.
Yes.
Over the years that you have known Tanner, that you have had the opportunity to observe his personality.
Yes, ma'am.
And you notice that he is a little socially awkward,
Yes, ma'am.
and that, according to you, that Tanner seemed to try to pick up pieces of other people's personalities.
Yes.
And he would try to fit in using those bits and pieces of personality.
Yes.
And you felt that Tanner was basically scared when he really wanted to be cool.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk a little bit more about these Facebook messenger posts. Now, you said earlier that after you met Tanner, you messaged each other on occasion and would talk on Facebook Messenger.
Yes.
All right. So on May 20th, you reached out to Tanner via Facebook Messenger. I believe. That's on page 7. And you told him that you wanted, can you put page 7?
Yes, I will.
All right, so you reached out to Tanner and you said that you wanted to apologize for annoying him while at Charlie's. You were being dumb to worry about him, and I hope you feel better soon and find yourself a good girl. See you around, Tanner. Who is Charlie?
Charlie is a mutual friend of ours.
And what is Charlie's last name?
Burris.
So when you had reached out to Charlie, you said that you had been annoying Tanner that night, and you were apologizing for annoying Tanner.
Yes.
So was this the incident at Charlie's house when you were basically being called out for being sexually aggressive towards Tanner?
I do not remember that. When I was talking about this, I was saying I was being dumb to worry about him. I was talking to Tanner about Jonathan.
Now, in this same conversation, you were talking about, and actually on June 19th of 2013, that would be page 8.
Yes.
Now, you reached out to Tanner again on June 18th of 2008, and would you please read the first couple of exchanges?
Yes, I said, dude. He said, yes. I said, I'm a strong, independent man whore who don't need no life. Tanner said, LOL, what? I said IDEK, which stands for I don't even know, I'm five ever alone.
Okay, so you yourself referred to yourself as Dan Orr?
Yes, I did.
Also, during that conversation, you talked about dating older men.
I believe so. What page would I be looking at?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to talking about her dating older men.
Overruled, if it's in the exhibits, you can go into it.
You can get into this outside of that.
Yes, it's in the exhibit. Let's look at June 19th. I believe it's on page 13.
You said page 19?
Yeah, Your Honor, I'm going to apologize. Their numbers are a little off the ones that we had before, so.
If you refer to the messages by date,
That's
it
what
may
I
be
did.
better.
Okay, so on June 19th, you had spoken in the exhibit. The jury will be able to take this exhibit back
Correct.
and look at it. So, but you recall on June 19th where you talked with Tanner about dating older men?
It looks like I was talking about a guy I was interested in and Jonathan in this conversation.
And Jonathan was older than you.
Yes,
Tanner was older than you.
yes,
Cody was older than you.
yes,
And all of these men were in their 20s when you were dating them at 16.
yes.
And no one forced you to date any of these men, did they?
No,
You dated them because you wanted to, and for
Yes.
no reason. When you first started dating Tanner, or I'm sorry, when you first split up with Jonathan, you said that Tanner had started showing some interest in you. And at the time, you thought that he was really sweet, didn't you?
I did.
And you knew that he had Asperger's.
I was informed by him that he had Asperger's. I never saw any documentation stating such.
But you and Tanner had a lot of mutual interests.
Yes,
Music and animals and things like that.
yes,
All right, so when you were dating Tanner, he was never really handsy with you, was he?
not in public.
And at the time that you were dating him, you had made it known that you would hit someone if they touched you when you didn't want to be touched.
Yes,
And you made sure that Tanner knew that from the beginning, right?
yes.
All right, so let's talk about this first incident back in 2013. Was that one of the nights that you had gone to see a show?
I can't remember if we saw a show that day.
But you knew you were going to be partying that night,
Yes,
and you knew you were going to be drinking.
yes.
No one forced you to drink.
No, ma'am.
You drank because you wanted to.
Yes, ma'am.
You also knew you were going to be doing drugs,
Yes, ma'am.
and no one forced you to do the drugs.
No, ma'am.
No one threatened you to do the drugs.
No, ma'am.
Okay. And you went back to Tanner's shed because you wanted to.
Yes, ma'am.
No one forced you.
No, ma'am.
No one threatened you if you didn't go.
No, ma'am.
You went to Tanner's place of your own free will.
Yes,
And it was your plan from the beginning to spend the night there.
yes.
So when you went and laid down, you said that Tanner was in bed with you.
Yes,
And and that Tanner made the first move,
yes,
and you went along with it.
yes.
When you had your forensic interview with the Fort Worth police detective, do you recall telling him that that encounter was consensual?
In the act that I did not say no, yes, I was still a minor child at 16.
But do you recall telling him that it was consensual?
I'll let her answer.
Yes,
You also spoke with the DAs, and you've also spoken with our investigators.
yes,
And do you recall telling our investigators that that encounter was also consensual?
yes,
This incident, the first time you had sex with Tanner, you said occurred in June of 2013. And as shortly thereafter, you were already texting him, messaging him, reaching out to him via Facebook Messenger.
yes.
During one of these times that you reached out to him, you were bragging or telling him about a sexual encounter you had with another woman.
Probably.
And this was in July of 2013. In fact, that was on July 8th of 2013.
Do you know what page that's on so I can refresh my memory?
I apologize. Their exhibit is, the page numbers are just slightly off from the one that I have. But it would be on July the 8th. I would say around page 21 or 22. And I believe it might be on page 13.
Ah, I see it here. Yes, I see it.
Okay. So now let's fast forward to August the 11th of 2013. Tanner had invited you over to his friend's, or to his apartment in Hazelwood.
It was his friend's apartment that he was staying with. He was not on the lease that I can remember.
So you were invited by Tanner,
Yes,
and you went over there willingly.
yes,
You knew you were going to be drinking,
yes,
you knew you were going to be smoking,
yes.
and no one forced you to drink or smoke, did they?
No, ma'am.
All right. After you went to bed, you said that Tanner came into your room, and then that's when y'all had sex again.
That is when I woke up to him having sex with me, yes.
Well, that's not what you told our investigator, is it? In fact, you told them it was consensual. Do you remember that?
I don't remember talking about the second time with y'all, no.
You testified earlier regarding these Facebook messages that after this August 11th encounter, that you tried to be off-put and dismissive and you tried to be as rude as possible. But you continued to initiate contact with Tanner via Facebook Messenger.
Yes,
So you initiated contact with him on November the 28th of 2013. And you initiated contact with him on December the 18th of 2013. Do you remember that?
yes, I do.
And with the December of 2013, you asked Tanner to give you a ride to a show. Is that right?
Yes, I believe it was a show that he was performing, the South by So What. I was trying to go so I could hang out with Shay and watch him perform.
But you asked Tanner to give you the ride to the show.
Yes,
All right. And then in January of 2014, you reached out to him again and told him that you had some weed, right?
yes, I did.
And you asked him if he wanted to chill.
Yes,
And you even told him that you were right by his house, insinuating that you wanted to come over to his house, right?
yes, I believe we actually went to the park down the street.
And then in March of 2014, you initiated contact again and asked him to go to a show with you.
I believe so. Roundabout what page would this be on?
It's March the 27th of 2014.
Yes,
And then again on March the 28th, you got back in touch with him again.
yes,
And again on April the 13th, you tried to video chat him.
April the 13th. Ah, yes, I see the audio call.
And when you didn't respond, what did you message him after?
I said answer me then.
All right, so on April the 14th, you and Tanner had a phone call. Is that right?
Yes,
And then on May the 27th of 2014, you initiated contact with him again,
yes,
and you asked him to come hang out with you.
yes,
And then later that year, y'all had to fight about the video game, right?
yes. I believe so.
After the fight about the video game, Tanner apologized for what he said the next day.
Yes,
After a while, I know you two had lost contact, but at some point, you started up another messenger thread and contact the messenger, right?
I believe so. Do we have a date so I could find it in the messages?
Let's say it was July of 2017 when Tanner sent you the death note, right?
Yes, I see this.
All right, and then later, there was some time that y'all didn't have contact, But then in October of 2018, you agreed to do a photo shoot for the band, is that right?
Yes,
And in November, you did that photo shoot and posted the photos, is that right?
yes,
But also in November of 2018, you and Tanner talked about your job, and you encouraged him to come and apply where you work.
yes,
And in fact, in November of 2018, you also asked him to help you move.
yes, I did.
And he helped you, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Ms. Hagerman, you had said that you've been to Tanner's house and that you had met his grandparents. Would that be Bill and Jackie Robinson?
I didn't know their names at the time, but it was the older woman in the house, so I assume his grandmother.
And you were there in the house at times when his grandfather would yell at him, weren't you?
I can't recall.
You don't recall telling our investigators that you heard Mr. Hardison hurl insults at Tanner?
It's been so long that I can't remember. I'm so sorry.
You don't recall telling our investigators that Mr. Harbison referred to Tanner as a shit stain on the face of society?
I would need to see my statement. Unfortunately, I can't recall. It's been a couple years.
And you were aware that there had also been physical altercations between Tanner and his grandfather?
Yes, Tanner had informed me of those.
And after one of those physical altercations, Tanner tried to kill himself?
Yes, I believe so. He tried to hang himself on Facebook Live, I believe.
One moment. Pass the insurance.
Lead record.
Briefly, Judge. You were asked, or I guess you were, these older men forced you to date them. Did you force these older men to date you?
Absolutely not.
How old are you?
16.
Would you consider yourself socially awkward?
Yes,
You stated earlier you lived with your grandma.
yes,
Is that something you and Tanner Horner had in common?
yes.
And how was your childhood?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Sustained.
She's already testified to her having one childhood.
I know. So it's repetitious.
And when you stated that you were a band killer in these messages, what did you mean by that?
That was a term that was going around on a website called Tumblr, which a lot of young people use to repost things about bands. And it was a term that a lot of younger music fans used in that day to say, oh, I'm a band whore. I love all of these bands. They're so great. It was not in reference to me being a whore sexually.
I'll pass it.
Any further?
Two questions.
Okay.
Did you file charges for statutory rape against Jonathan Hardin?
No, I did not.
Did you file charges against Chris White for statutory rape?
No, I did not.
Anything else? Okay. We're gonna need to stick around for just a few minutes, okay?
Yes, sir.
So put her in the witness room. I would like to get started with the next witness, and then when the jury's lunch gets here, we'll break. Okay? Who do you have next? Shaylee Moore. Come on, please, Ben. Ladies and gentlemen, this witness has been previously sworn to testify truthfully. Mr. Staker. Oh, sorry about that. let's do a do-over. Ladies and gentlemen, this witness has been previously sworn to testify truthfully. Mr. Staten.
Ms. Moore, would you spell your first name for us?
Shaylee, Shaylee.
And your last name, Moore?
Yes, sir, Moore.
And Ms. Moore, do you commonly go by Shay?
Used to, yes.
You're all well known how you do that.
Yes, sir.
And ma'am, just so that I'm clear here for us, what's your date of birth?
November 4th, 1998.
Initially, just so we get this figure, how do you know the defendant Tanner?
He raped me in December of 2014.
Now, what age were you when you first came in contact with Tanner?
I would say around 14.
That'd be seventh grade?
Yes, sir.
And was Tanner still in school or out of school?
I believe he had already graduated.
And what geographic area were you in when you were having contact with Tanner when you were in the seventh grade?
Like, where was I living at the time?
What places were you having contact with?
We would hang out at the park in Azle with mutual friends around the same time, and that was how we first came in contact.
At some point after that, when you were in 14, did you similarly hang out with Tanner and some of his friends?
A few times, yes.
And we've heard a little bit about this, but were they in a band?
Yes, sir.
And how many different bands that you had, did you hang out with? Multiple or just one?
As far as his band, only one.
And as far as this particular band, when did you begin, I'll just use the term hanging out, we'll talk about it, but when did you begin hanging out?
It would have been November of 2014.
And let's talk about, when I say hanging out with the band, what type of things were you doing with the band?
I was being picked up and taken to his friend's house for band practice, and I went to a few of their shows.
So at this point in time, in November of 2014, what you said?
Yes, sir.
How old are you in November of 2014?
I had just turned 16.
And so November 4th of 2014, you would have turned 16.
Yes, sir.
And you said this sexual assault occurred a month after that in December of 2014.
Yes, sir.
So during this time, you said that you would go to shows. What kind of shows were these?
Small band shows at Tomcats in Fort Worth.
Is Tomcats the name of the establishment?
Yes, sir.
And what type of establishment is this?
It was a bar music venue combo.
And would this be where Tanner is also performing in this band?
Yes, sir.
And as far as that's concerned, I'm going to ask you, did you have a friend by the name of Kayla Hagelin?
Yes, sir.
And is that how you got to know Tanner?
She was one of our mutual friends, yes.
And was she around the band as well?
Yes, sir.
And should you exhibit here? Sorry.
That's all right.
States 294. And absent the other stuff on it, do you recognize that picture?
Yes, sir.
And you're not going to who took that picture?
I believe it was Kaylin.
Okay. And do you recognize the people that are in the picture?
Yes, sir.
And what date was that taken?
It was posted on November 21st. It was taken the night before.
So this was taken, say it again,
November 20th,
of
2014.
2014. And in this picture, who's in this picture?
Tanner, from left to right, Tanner Horner, myself, Cody Spiker, Charles Wooldridge, and then the other gentleman whose name I don't fully remember.
Unknown man.
Yeah.
So who has to admit States 294?
States Exhibits 294s have been.
And let me ask you, in this picture, how old are you in this picture?
16 years old.
And if this is taken November 20th, is that, if my arithmetic's correct, how many days after your 16th birthday?
Less than 3 weeks.
Okay. So in this particular time, in November of 2014, you said you went to a couple of shows. Were those both at this Tomcat place?
Yes, sir.
And then you also said you went to band practice, is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
And where did you go to band practice?
At Charles Wooldridge's house.
Is that one of those other people in the picture?
Yes, sir.
And so at this particular time, and you're hanging out with these people, you know,
What general area of Charles Woolridge's house is? Is it Tarrant County, Wise County, where is it?
It's in Tarrant County. It's in Arlington, if I recall correctly. Arlington.
And so during this time, Judge, can we publish back to the,
States 294?
yes.
Sure.
Who is this on the left here, the only female in this?
That's me, sir.
That's you. So this location in Arlington, what was the primary purpose of the band being at this location?
They would have a party the night before and band the next morning, or afternoon rather.
And so during this time, in November of 2014, you said that you ended up at this location. How was it that you ended up from where you were to this location?
Cody Spiker came and picked me up from my grandmother's house and drove me there.
Now, this guy, Cody Spiker, is he also in that picture?
Yes, sir.
And let me just ask, how old is Cody Spiker?
Approximately the same age as Tanner Horner.
At that time, how old is Cody Spiker?
He would have been approximately 21 to 23 range.
And at this time, you're a month after your 16th birthday. How old is Tanner Horner?
23.
So if my arithmetic is right, that's 7 years older than you?
Yes, sir.
So these times that you go to band practice, where were you living at that time?
I was living in Roanoke.
And who were you living with?
My grandmother.
Now, your grandmother, would she have approved, if you know of you being at band practice with these individuals?
No, sir.
And I'm going to ask you some other questions, but would she approve of what you were doing at these band practice with these other individuals?
No, sir.
And during this time beside band practice, is there some drinking going on?
Yes, sir.
And is there some smoking going on?
Yes, sir.
And you're participating?
Yes, sir.
Now, as part of this, you said initially that Tanner had raped you in December.
Yes, sir.
And let me just ask you, where was that location that took place?
That was at Charles Woolridge's house in Arlington,
In December of when?
December of 2014.
Now, do you know the exact date?
The early morning of December 6th of 2014.
Now, let's talk about, at some point, was there ever a conversation between you and Tanner regarding your age being 16?
Yes, sir.
And can you tell the jury what was the substance of that conversation between you and Tanner about your age?
There were multiple conversations, but the gist of them, to my recollection, was him trying to convince me that we should be in a relationship, and me telling him that I could not do that because he was 7 years older than me, and I couldn't lie about something that big, and I couldn't be with somebody with that much of an age difference between us.
So at this point in time, and how did you communicate with him? Was it, you just communicated different ways. Was it verbally? Was it by?
It was written communication via Facebook Messenger and an app called Kik.
Any doubt in your mind that he knew your age?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir, sorry.
He knew what you meant. Any doubt in your mind that he knew that you had a problem with the difference between you two's age as it applied to dating?
No, sir.
Now, let's talk about this. Let's go back to your 16th birthday. Did you have a happy 16th birthday?
No, sir.
Why didn't you have a happy 16th birthday?
I had just gone through a breakup with my high school sweetheart of sorts.
And was that upsetting to you?
Yes, sir.
And when you're 16 and you just broke up with your high school sweetheart, what do you do?
Depends on the person, but for me, I kind of just sought attention and tried to stay busy.
And this is the time in which you've broken up and you began hanging out with Tanner Horner.
Yes, sir.
And let's talk about your relationship with Tanner Horner. At any point, did you tell him that you wanted to have a relationship with him?
No, sir.
At any point, did you tell him that you wanted to have sex with him?
No, sir.
In fact, did you ever have an altercation where he attempted something with you and y'all had a discussion about what he did?
Yes, sir.
And where was that?
That was at Tomcats in November of 2014.
Was this at one of these shows?
Yes, sir. And if I remember correctly, I believe it was the night that picture was taken.
So the night this picture was taken, you had a conversation with Tanner. What's that conversation?
When I first got there, he told me that his mother was going to be coming and to tell her that I was 18 if she asked about my age. And then as the night progressed, he had kissed me, and afterwards we had a conversation the next day about how I couldn't do anything physical with him because of the age difference.
It sounds like the second time you made that clear to you.
Yes, sir.
This was in response to him trying to issue.
Yes, sir.
Now, you said Tanner Horner told you to tell his mom you were 18.
Yes, sir.
Why was that?
Because he knew that she would be, he told me that
Oh, you may answer.
he told me that she would be upset if she found out that I was 16, as well as his bandmates. He also told me to tell them that I was 18, though Cody Spiker knew my real age.
So going into this weekend, December 6th and 7th, are we doing a show or are we doing band practice?
It was band practice.
And so how does 16-year-old Shay set this up?
I had told my grandmother that I was staying the weekend with a friend, and it was a friend that I was supposed to be getting picked up from their house at the end of the weekend. So I was going to go to band practice late Friday night on the 5th. We were going to have some drinks, hang out. They were going to do practice, actual practice, on the day of the 6th. And then the evening of the 6th, we went to Tanner Horner's house.
I'm going to pick this apart here a little bit. So what I'm getting at is that you told your grandma a lot.
Yes, sir.
And so you would have cover so you could hang out with Wayne
Yes, sir.
and do a little drinking.
Yes, sir.
Now, to get to Arlington or your grandma's house on this particular weekend, how do you get from point A to point B?
Cody Spiker picked me up from my grandmother's house and drove me to Charles Woldridge's house.
And that's one of the guys in that picture you just saw.
Yes, sir.
Cody's home. All right. So you get there, what do you do when you get there?
It's pretty late. We're drinking, smoking some weed, listening to music, hanging out. Initially, it's nothing out of the norm for a general house party besides the fact that I was there at 16.
And so how does the night progress? What happens?
We are drinking, and then eventually everything starts to wind down. People are starting to go to sleep, and I am told by Cody Spiker that me and Tanner were going to be sleeping in a bedroom, and Cody was going to be sleeping on the couch with his, at the time, partner.
All right. So a few weeks ago, you had a conversation with Tanner, and you testified that you would, it's clear, Chairman.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm just rolling on. Sorry, Judge. You had a conversation where you said you were clear with him, you did not want a relationship.
Yes, sir.
So prior to this weekend, was that less than a month on my calculations?
Yes, sir.
And had those same conversations that you said by Facebook Messenger and your app, what was it called again?
KIK. K-I-K.
Okay. Did you have those conversations in that same period as well?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt in your mind that Tanner Horner understands that you don't want to have a relationship?
No, sir.
So we've been drinking, we're at Cody Spiker's house, or Charles Woolridge's house with a band. Everybody's, I guess, crashing out, if you will. And you find a place to crash out?
Yes, we were sleeping in one of the main bedrooms of the house.
Now let's be honest with the jury. How much did you have to drink?
A lot. I lost count at like 7 shots, and I had a few beers, plus we were smoking as well.
At this point in time, did you bring the alcohol with you?
No, sir.
Did you bring the weed with you?
No, sir.
This was provided to you by the bank.
Yes, sir.
Now, when this is going on, y'all are crashing out, you said, was it a guest house or just another bedroom in the house?
It was just one of the bedrooms in the house.
And at some point, did you crash out?
Yes, sir. We go and we lay down.
Anything at that time go on out of the ordinary?
As we were laying down, it was a pretty big bed, so I went to one side and he began to try to cuddle with me, and I told him that I didn't want to cuddle, I just wanted to go to sleep, I didn't want to be touched.
All right. And I think you've said before that because of how much alcohol you had, you don't remember every single second that went on from the time you got bed until you got
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But let's talk about what you do remember. So you go to sleep. Do you sleep all night, or do you wake up at some point during the night?
I wake up at some point during the night.
And what causes you to wake up at some point during the night?
I became conscious and came to Tanner Horner raping me.
Now, I'm going to ask you some questions about that, okay? I'm not trying to pry into your private life. I'm going to ask you some questions. when you say that Tanner Horner is raping you, you understand it's not legal for a 23-year-old to have sex with a 16-year-old?
Yes, sir.
At any point, did you consent to have any sexual relationship, even if you couldn't consent by law, with Tanner Horner?
No, sir.
And so you woke up with him raping you. Now, what does that mean? Describe it. What do you mean? What does he do?
There are two specific moments that I remember as I was in and out of consciousness. He was on top of me. I was laying on my back. He had his penis inside of me, and his sweat dripped into my mouth. And then I remember coming to again, and I was on my stomach, and he had my hands pinned behind my back, and he was continuing to rape me.
Let's talk about this. You said that he was on top of you. Now, let me ask a question about that, or more of a physical question. The jury seen a picture of you at the time, at or near the time.
Yes, sir.
Now, not to be rude to you, but were you bigger or smaller now than you were then?
I was quite a bit smaller.
And with regard to Tanner, as you see him in the courtroom today, was he bigger or smaller than he is today?
He was significantly bigger.
And so, at that point in time, you said he was on top of you,
Yes, sir.
and you indicated that his penis is inside you.
Yes, sir.
Now, with that, besides Tanner sweating on you, what else is he doing?
He is continuously thrusting in and out of my body, grunting.
Okay. And then you said that the next thing you remember is you're on your stomach.
Yes, sir.
Now, is the bigger version of Tanner still on top of you?
Yes, sir.
Now, at this point, were you able to push yourself up off him physically?
No, sir.
And even if you'd been sober at the time, would you have been able to push yourself up?
No, sir.
And is that because of the weight difference?
Yes, sir.
Now, the second time you said that he's on top of you, you said his penis is inside you again, and can you show the jury how that he had his hands in behind your back? How does that work?
I was laying on the bed, and he had my hands on the low of my back.
Like that?
Yes, sir.
And he had his hand, was it his hand holding your hands together?
I only recall one hand specifically.
But whatever it was, you weren't able to pull your hands back around.
Yes, sir.
What's the next thing you remember after that?
We woke up in the morning, went about morning as usual. I had no recollection of the night before.
So at that point in time, you get out of bed, are you still fuzzy from the night before?
I'm definitely still a little out of it.
All right. You've got some memory today. When did your memory come back to you about what Tanner Horner done to you that night?
When he made a secondary attempt at assaulting me on the morning of the 7th.
So let's talk about that. We're in Arlington, we're at Charles Woolridge's house, right? You get up, how do you get from the secondary location? What is the secondary location?
Tanner Horner's house.
And when we say his house, we've seen some pictures here. Is it just one big house, or are there multiple buildings? What is it?
There was one main house, and he had a room in a shed in the backyard.
Now, this particular shed in the backyard, did y'all arrive and go into the main house or the shed?
We went through the main house to get to the shed.
Right. And as far as this shed, is it a big shed, small shed? What do you remember?
I would say it's on the slightly bigger side for sheds, but it wasn't exactly like house size shed or anything.
Have you ever been to his house before?
No, sir.
And who took you to his house?
Cody Spiker.
Was it just you and Cody, or was it somebody else in the vehicle?
It was Cody Spiker and myself, and Tanner and myself, this day specifically.
So when this is going on, do you remember what time it is on day 2 that you finally arrived at Tanner's house?
It was pretty late in the day. It was dark outside, but I don't remember the time.
And so you get there, you get to the shed, what happens next?
He and I go through the house, go into the shed, we're hanging out, and then he hits up one of his friends to bring some acid over.
So Tanner Horner called somebody to bring drugs to the house.
Yes, sir.
Had you ever done those drugs before?
No, sir.
And so how does that work?
In regards to what exactly?
Well, what do y'all do?
His friend shows up, he gives me and Tanner the acid. His friend doesn't take any. The three of us are hanging out for a while, where they're playing music videos on the TV, and then his friend leaves, and things kind of start to wind down for the night.
So taking this acid, I mean, did anybody force you to do that?
No, sir.
This was your first time,
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna ask you a lot of details about that, but how long does that go on? I don't know the terminology, but how long does it go on from the time that you do it till the time it gets up?
It varies from my understanding, 6 to 8 hours on average. But for my experience specifically, it was around the 7-ish hour mark.
So during that hour mark, is anything going on during that 7 hour?
Mostly we're just watching TV, or watching music videos specifically, hanging out, talking, and then at the end we are laying down because I'm ready to go to sleep. It's approximately 7 a.m. at this point. And that was when the secondary attempt was made.
And let's talk about that and walk through that. You're laying down, you're coming down off whatever you take.
Yes, sir.
You lay down, what does Tanner do when you lay down?
He lays down behind me and begins touching me.
You say touching, let's be more specific. What is he doing when he's touching?
More specifically, I was laying on my right side on the edge of the bed. I was kind of just scrolling, just trying to occupy my brain for a few minutes because I couldn't quite fall asleep. And he begins to trace his hand up and down my side, up and down my leg, my hip, my waist, talking about how he's sorry that my ex hurt me, that he would never hurt me like he did, that he wishes that I didn't have to go through that. And then I began to have brief glimpses of the night before and start to hyperventilate. I'm on the verge of an anxiety attack. He's keeps touching me. Eventually he starts asking me what's wrong, and I can't bring myself to respond because I didn't know how to even begin to explain what was wrong to the person that was hurting me.
So at this point in time, you said things are kind of coming back. Did you say you had a physical response to what was going on here?
Yes, sir. I started hyperventilating.
And so what are you trying to do, if anything, at the point at which Tanner did this?
My body is physically frozen, but since I had my phone in my hand, I did start texting friends to find somebody to come pick me up.
Were they able to come get you?
One person was, yes.
And so it's somebody you just get up and walk out and drive off with your friend?
He gets up at some point from behind me. He's pacing around the room. At one point, he's blocking or standing in front of the door. Finally, I get a hold of a friend who says that they can come get me. And she asked me what the address was. So I asked him what his address was. And he told me that he wouldn't give it to me unless I talked to him to tell him what was wrong.
Did you know where you were? Really?
No, sir. I knew that I was close to Azle, Texas, but I didn't know where exactly.
You never been to this?
No, sir.
And so, did Tanner give you the information you were asking?
No, sir. He never gave me the information.
How many times do you think you asked him for the address to the house?
I don't recall specifically, but at least 2 or 3.
Okay. And he wouldn't give it to you?
No, sir.
And you said that he was physically in front of the door. Were you trying to leave when that was happening?
In the time that he was blocking the door, I was still standing over beside his bed. I was putting my stuff in my bag, trying to get out of there.
Okay. And were you finally able to get out of there?
Eventually, he moved from in front of the door, and I was able to beeline from beside the bed to out the door, through the backyard, through the back door that went through his grandparents' room where they were sleeping. I went into the dining area, found a piece of mail with his address on it, and hid in the bathroom until my friend could come get me.
And at some point, did your friend come get you?
Yes, sir.
Now, initially, did you report this to anyone?
No, sir.
But did you tell anyone?
Yes, sir.
And who did you tell?
I told several of my friends. I told his bandmates knew about it, some of them. I told my brother, that kind of stuff.
Why not law enforcement at that time?
There's a lot of reasons, but ultimately I didn't think that I would be believed.
Now, at some point, you talked to us before about you and Tanner communicating.
Yes, sir.
And did y'all, during the short time that you were hanging out with him, what were some of the subjects that he communicated with you about during that time?
The majority of our conversations revolved around music or the show Doctor Who. But he did disclose that he was into BDSM and rougher sex with me as well.
So these are Tanner Horner having those type of conversations with 16-year-old Shay.
Yes, sir.
Now, at some point during this, did you begin to speak out a little more about what happened to you?
Yes, sir. I was telling people close to me, though I was limited about exactly how much I told and who I told for a few years. And then in 2018, I became public with it.
And when you went public with it, did Tanner Warner respond when you went public and communicate with you about you talking about what happened to you?
Yes, sir. He messaged me directly.
I'm going to show you.
Yeah, let's stop for lunch, okay? Get an exhibit from the last witness. We will start at 1:30. 1:30?